a great team spirit on the road, but I suppose my own personal friend is Eddie Gray.
He was my roommate for 12 years when we travelled all over Europe, all over England.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Codswork, and we're back to another live stream. I'm now back from my weekend, and yeah, today I'm relaxing out on a Monday night. So yeah, hope you enjoy the stream. Hopefully you've had a good weekend, and yeah, it's good to be back for another live stream. Just busy doing this at the moment, and then I'll talk in a bit.
It's just something that's in you, The goals is, I think goals is basically what the game's all about, and I just love scoring goals. I love to see the ball in the net.
But for all the goals he scored for Leeds, it was one he didn't, which many still remember.
Give me the same ball, the same thing, and hit it just the same. And I know the other 999 times out of 1,000 it would have gone in, but on the day it didn't go in, and we'd lost the cup.
A proud Scotsman, Lorimer also played 21 times for his country, but where his heritage was in Dundee, his heart was in Leeds.
He loved Leeds. He absolutely adored Leeds United. He even went back to Leeds, of course, after a little spell away. And he made his home in the city. Everybody knew him. And the other thing I always remember about Peter was he was a journalist's dream, because, as you know, I was working for BBC Radio Leeds at the time when Peter was in that first team, and in the great side. And if ever I wanted a quote, Peter was the one I went to.
For the fourth time in less than 12 months, people have been coming here to lay flowers at the feet of the club's legendary captain, Billy Bremner. After the deaths of Norman Hunter, Trevor Cherry and Jack Charlton, this weekend Leeds United lost another member of Don Reevy's iconic team.
It's another sad day for Leeds United, isn't it? We've lost so many over the last 12, 18 months, and another legend of the club that sadly passed away.
He was a nice guy. My dad was good friends with him, and I know my dad will be very upset. And obviously, he remembered him watching him play and stuff. It was born a similar time to Peter Lorimer, so yeah, it's a sad day.
Peter Lorimer, not only a great goal scorer, but a scorer of great goals.
He always was such a gent as well whenever he came here.
Yeah, lovely fella to boot. When you saw him out and about too, he was a real special man, and be very sadly missed. Later in the programme, we're going to have more football for you. The best seat in the house, but these Barnsley fans have little a cheer as Sheffield Wednesday claim bragging rights in Saturday's South Yorkshire derby.
And after a quiet weekend weather-wise, the working week has started on a relatively peaceful note, but is that set to change? The forecast is coming up later.
Next tonight, the RSPCA has revealed it's dealt with more than 12,000 incidents across Yorkshire during the year-long lockdown, at a time that its funding's taken a major hit.
In Sheffield alone, it's lost around £5,000 a month, with its shops closed and fundraising events cancelled.
It's also worried that there could be an influx on unwanted pets as lockdown is lifted and owners return to work. Here's Martin Fisher.
It's worrying times for Sheffield's RSPCA Centre. Well, they're grateful for donations like this one left on the doorstep. There is still a massive hole in their finances to the tune of around £5,000 a month.
What we're running off now are grants that have been provided to us by other branches who are in a better financial position. There are no other sources of income at the moment other than what the public have kindly donated.
Yeah, I've been a bit stressed at the moment. Well, I am. Yeah, there's this app I've been using. Been using it for quite a few months now. For some reason, I've changed it because I've not used it for a while. And apparently I've now got to start paying for stuff now, and it's really annoying. So yeah, it's really annoying that they've actually done that now. It's really annoying. So yeah, you've got to pay for each item, and it's annoying.
Not been open and available to do that.
So yeah,
that's
not good.
And it's not just the cost of treating the animals that's straining finances. They need to raise money for urgent repair work. So
let's put this back on.
One morning and you were greeted by this. What happened?
Water gushing from the door, unfortunately came in. One of the pipes had burst, and it was like a waterfall coming into Kennel area. We've had
Save
some
up to
quotes through
40% wherever you are with the Amazon Spring Sale. Ends March 31st.
You are expecting the influx of animals, and I suspect you've been needing these kennels.
Definitely, luckily there was no animals in here in time of release, but we will be using these.
Centre's word that lockdown restrictions are lifted, it'll be immune to unwanted pets as owners go back to work.
People will find that they can't afford them. Vet treatment enjoys thousands and thousands of pounds. Your personal circumstances change, you might need to go back to work. All of those are reasons that people will need our care.
The centre is still taking animals in. It desperately needs people to donate now to ensure it's there for what promise to be very challenging times ahead. Martin Fisher, ITV News in Sheffield.
Sheffield Yorkshire. South Yorkshire England has signed off on £860 million of investment that originally covered from the 2019 Sheffield City Regional Mayor Dan Zarvis has said the funding remains for local leaders to decide on local priorities and promised more than £300 million of investment in the region.
Plans have been unveiled to deliver the flagship Northern Carhouse rail station in Bradford, which is going to transform the city for thousands of jobs. The high-speed rail link will replace Bradford's interchange, slashing journey times and attracting investment. The final decision will rest with the government.
Meanwhile, campaigners are calling for all railway station platforms in the country to be given with special paving lines and passing with their nearing the edge of the platform. While they do have so-called tactile strips of news, half of the UK's mainline stations don't.
Well, it comes out
Aha! Mario, stop being in the thing.
falling from a platform and being hit by a train. An investigation found that the lack of a tactile strip may have been a factor. Kevin Ashford reports.
It's been a year of grief for Sheffield. Just over 12 months ago, his partner of 19 years was killed. In his race, he was visually impaired, fell from a railway platform and was hit by a train.
I rang his phone at 9:20 and didn't get a response. 10 minutes later, there was a knock at the door, and it was 2 police officers. And they asked if they could come in because they've got some bad news, and my life changed from that moment. Not only did I lose my partner, I lost my role, if you like, because I was looking after him a lot of the time. So it's had a huge impact on me, and it's never going to go away.
The stations are proven bad, even for employees. They're not tactile strips, and they warn blind and visually impaired people that they're getting close to the edge of the platform. The report from the Rail Accident Investigation Branch found that they're absent medical factor in the accident in which proven to raise the driver. The strips have been installed in stations since the mid-1990s, but not everywhere. All platforms at Leeds Station, for example, do have them, but many other stations in the region and around the country don't. This station now has strips, but before they were installed, Alto Ortega was blind and was off the platform. He lost his footing at the platform edge as he didn't know he was close to it, and as he stumbled, his guide dog Mercer was pulled onto the train track, leaving the animal badly injured.
I was really scared at that moment. It was not just being heard. I think that was not the word worry. It was like, one is hearing my dog screaming. I wasn't really sure if he hit the track or even the live wire, if it would be electrified. And I knew that the train is coming in.
Arthur is backing a petition started by the Royal National Institute of Blind People that calls for all railway stations to have the tactile strips installed.
We know that at least sort of half of mainline stations don't have them. And one of the key challenges is there's not clear equal duties on Network Rail or the rails that operators more widely to make sure they're installed. And we think that's fundamental. We need to make sure that they're installed and then maintained to make sure that railway stations can be maintained.
The sun's in our waist, with the shadows in the light, and no, we go. The wastelands in our waist.
Secker Hall says he'll continue to fight for safety improvements on railways for blind and conscious sighted people.
when anyone suffering a sort of loss changed his life forever. Kevin Ashford.
In the course of the last year, hundreds of thousands of workers across our region have received a financial lifeline through the government's furlough scheme, and they will rely on it until it closes at the end of September.
While the pandemic has caused huge uncertainty in the jobs market, it's also prompted people to reassess their situation. Matt Price has been speaking to a recruitment specialist from North Yorkshire who predicts some busy months ahead.
Recruitment expert Kerry Hope in Scarborough is expecting a surge in people coming forward looking for work post-lockdown. Although business has been slow for her, she believes certain sectors are set to experience huge growth.
As soon as this is lifted, we're going to envisage an influx in office-based roles, which I would say is the one that's holding back at the moment. But all in all, I would say the outlook is starting to look much brighter based on the client conversations we're having for opportunities across our region in the next 6 months.
A study of those currently in work has found a change of scenery is on the cards for many. 84% are currently looking for a new job. 45% of workers say they don't think they'll be in the same sector this year as they were in 2020, and 29% of respondents have used their time during the pandemic to pick up a new skill or qualification.
Surge in the number of people, looking at alternate careers. Perhaps driven by that need to get some job security, and also maybe some people, it's just rekindled that latent desire to maybe look at something else, look at some new challenges.
That's exactly what Jess Stockwell did. She was furloughed but quit her job at a hotel and set up a handmade donut company. She's since taken on her own lease at a cafe, now proud to have her own business and be
We go to voice as a voice.
You might have always wanted to own a cafe. We just didn't think it would be this soon and happening quite like this. I mean, it's been amazing. So, yeah, I can't quite believe what's happened in the last year, to be honest, but it's been great, yeah.
Online learning sites are also reporting a surge in people wanting to reskill. The Open University's free learning portal has seen a 300% increase in enrolments.
We did a course with online stadium expert, Mark Lewis, and that launched literally during the pandemic. It surged way up our top 10 charts.
Meanwhile, the number of colleges across the country have been putting on free taster sessions too.
We've had a lot of industry construction, so plastering, plumbing, electrical, and what we can see is that construction has worked throughout, so people who are on furlough may see that that's an industry that is thriving.
Jess hopes she's something of an inspiration, offering potential entrepreneurs food for thought. She would encourage anyone to take that career idea and make a dream come true. Matt Price, ITV News.
Time for sport. Coming up, proud sponsors of ITV Regional Sports Reports.
Thank you very much. Well, it's looking likely that Sheffield United Aaron Gill will call Chris Wilder answered the door at Bramall Lane. Wilder's assistant, who remained in the place after Wilder's sacked last week, was absent from yesterday's FA Cup quarter-final defeat at Chelsea, in which Stephen the Baltic squad had a big chance to level the scores, and that proved costly as Chelsea scored again late on to secure the win.
We were going to put money on anyone, I was putting money on him, but today it wasn't the case, so we know why we have the foot, these chances, but in terms of controlling the performance, improving the performance, throughout the game, I feel
Well, we have something to cheer about on the other side of City after the second Wednesday upset at Bournemouth with a shot 2-1 win at Championship promotion Jason Barnsley to keep this the rival hopes alive. First, we start our round up with Newton win at Fulham on Friday night, with Tottenham small but secures their Premier League status for next season. It seems that this year it's Leeds United who are further on the end of the mark on. Luke Davies holds the latest in what Premier catching up with marginal decisions going against the Warriors. After Cranford missed after a follow-up to the latest team in squad, but instead of giving Garnister, it's something to think about. After scoring his 14th of the season, he turned provider for Rafinha, as Leeds won a game in London for the first time in 4 years. Darren Moore picked up his first win as boss of Sheffield Wednesday after they beat Barnsley in the South Yorkshire derby. Jordan Rhodes rose to the occasion to score his first double since 2019. Alton Morris gave the Barnsley fans on this cherry to piss off with the transfer. While the Celtics has got the title losing the first league game since January. Rotherham boss Paul Warnock's Clayside moved within 3 points of safety from his home as he continues to self-isolate. Despite only having 33% possession, goals from Michael Smith and captain Richard Wood was enough to see off Bristol City. Hull City held on to top spot for League One despite being held at Shrewsbury. Craig Doherty's wonderful strike passed about the earlier own goal from the goalkeeper. Lincoln also held on for a point against Philip promotion chase from Sunderland. Callum Morris's goal keeps the Ibs in the hunt for automatic promotion. Doncaster Rovers found themselves 2 down at Gillingham after just 4 minutes. Rovers captain Tom Anderson pulled the side back into the game before the ever-present James Coppinger leveled the score in a whirlwind first half. In League Two, Harrogate failed to hit the target in any of their 12 attempts as they lost to Morecambe. It ended goalless between Bradford and Oldham, Daniel Rowe was the best strike to the Bantams. Grimsby twice came from behind to rescue a point against Mansfield. Lionel John Lewis found himself unmarked to the box to make it 1-1. Jason Law fired his fast pass in front before a quite stunning stoppage-time free kick from George Williams leveled the score again as Alfie Beeston rescued the point for Scunthorpe against South End. And finally, for recent sad news from the weekend, 33-year-old boxing Lee Noble from Barnsley, who died after a long battle with leukemia. The Wednesday-based horse racing trainer Rebecca Bastlin also passed away following a long set of illness. Our condolences to both boxing Lee and Rebecca's friends. Sadly, thank you both for review.
Great time of celebration of the Yorkshire inoculations today, almost 300 years.
Yes, while the incredible scientists who came up with various COVID vaccines over the last year will have their place in our history books to come, Lady Mary Montagu has already written her own chapter.
She'll be remembered for introducing the smallpox vaccination in the early 18th century. Her efforts have been honoured at Wentworth Castle Gardens. Here's Tim Twist.
She should have been hailed as a pioneer of medicine. Instead, Lady Mary Montagu's key role in the fight against smallpox was relegated to a footnote in history. But Yorkshire never forgot her. And at the historic Wentworth Castle Gardens overlooking the M1 motorway near Barnsley, the unveiling of an art installation, it's hoped will encourage visitors to follow the trail of a true trailblazer. Jenny Rugg is a guide at Wentworth Castle and says parallels can be drawn between Lady Montagu's fight to get people vaccinated 3 centuries ago and the current pandemic.
It's extraordinary, like the contemporary relevance of it really, with being the 200th anniversary, we're not very soon, the peace in Britain, and we have a global pandemic and a mass vaccination program, which is more contemporary relevance really.
Paul Slater and Katrina Whale from Home Firth go behind the colourful fiberglass objects, hopes that it'll put a smile on people's faces.
We've been working on this for about a year, so the work kind of developed alongside the pandemic, so it became more and more evident that those parallels were there. And to a point now where it almost feels like it was meant to be. You know, the work really does dovetail with the story of Lady Mary.
To put something uplifting, bright, colourful, fun into a space like this is a privilege.
A privilege and a recognition of the achievements of a courageous woman.
She was not the first, and she won't be the last woman to introduce the scientific innovation. But to me, vaccination program will be waiting today without her. I'm having my vaccination tomorrow, so I'll certainly be thanking Lady Mary when I go for mine.
As will many others who will get the chance to see the art installation in the coming months. It goes on display in both Cannon Hall and the Elsican Heritage Centre. David Hurst, ITV News, Barnsley.
Well, I've got up your second one. I thank Lady Mary too.
Well, I will too.
And Lady Mary.
Bringing blue skies and sunshine. 2 minutes on ITV North weather.
Thank you. A very good evening to you. A settled and fairly pleasant start for most of us to the working week, with high pressure in charge today. Still hanging on for tomorrow with a bit more bright, fine weather to come. From midweek onwards, our weather becomes more unsettled, more mobile, and in fact turning a little bit colder by Friday. The position of the jet stream at the moment, a nice big flat area of high pressure, so there's a quiet settled weekend and a fine day today and again for tomorrow. Very gradually, fronts will be allowed to push in. The jet stream shifts position from Wednesday, Thursday onwards, and into Friday we're pulling in some rather cold air across the UK, which will turn any showers potentially to hail and sleet up on higher ground. But back to today's details. For many of us, there's been some little sunshine around today. As we head into this evening, under clear skies, temperatures could fall away low enough for a touch of ground, and air frost amongst some spots, and it dips just below freezing. Cloud will build a little bit through the early hours of Tuesday morning. The sun will be rising at 3 minutes past 8, setting at 6:25 tomorrow evening. So then, for tomorrow, bright or sunny weather for most places through the first half of the morning, but more cloud around perhaps than we've seen today. It's dry, and it's winds will
I'm nearly done on this. I'm nearly done. Nearly done.
and we'll end the day cloudy for all of us. Temperatures will get up to around 11, perhaps 12 Celsius at best. Looking ahead through the rest of the week, winds will increase in strength, especially during Thursday. It'll turn more showery and colder on Friday.
Julie, this is ITV Yorkshire weather. Joe, thanks very much. That's it from us. Our next update is at around 10:30 tonight.
National stories next with Mary Nightingale.
Well, for now, from all of us, thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.
See you tomorrow.
The clear Nicholas Sturgeon did not break Scotland's ministerial code. An independent report has found the First Minister acted within the rules regarding her evidence to the Alex Salmond inquiry, saving her reputation and securing her job.
I believe I acted appropriately in a difficult situation, and I'm pleased that I have the independent verification of that.
So tonight ignored and living in squalor, how even after Grenfell Tower, tenant safety fears still aren't taken seriously. One of Europe's third wave, the Prime Minister calls for cooperation to guarantee COVID vaccine supplies and save lives. And the kindness of strangers have helped came 100-fold for a former Marine devastated after losing his home.
This is the On TV Evening News with Mary Nightingale.
Scotland's First Minister has tonight spoken of her delight and relief that an inquiry has cleared her of allegations which could have cost her her job. An independent lawyer concluded that Nicholas Sturgeon didn't breach the ministerial code and didn't deliberately mislead the Scottish Parliament. And claims came out of the investigation into the Scottish Government's handling of sexual harassment allegations against Alex Salmond. The ruling comes just before crucial Holyrood elections. As correspondent Peter Smith has the latest.
A good morning and a good day for the First Minister, confident she will not have to resign.
No, I'm going to a pandemic.
Nicholas Sturgeon did not break ministerial code. That's now been confirmed by an independent inquiry, and this afternoon she spoke for the first time since being exonerated.
Obviously, relief and some pretty grim allegations have been levelled at me over the past months. They've not been easy, they've been difficult to contend with. I have been accused with my own conscience on all of these matters. I have been very clear in my own mind that I acted appropriately and did not breach the ministerial code.
This inquiry, led by Irish barrister James Hamilton, examined the First Minister's behaviour, the most serious allegations that she knowingly misled Parliament over when she first heard her mentor and predecessor Alex Salmond was being investigated for allegations of sexual misconduct. If true, the ministerial code says that would have been a resignation matter. Nicholas Sturgeon says she simply forgot about an earlier meeting. Crucially, in his report, Hamilton says her explanation for why she did not recall this meeting when giving her account to Parliament, while inevitably likely to be greeted with suspicion, even scepticism by some, is not impossible. He continues, I find it difficult to think of any convincing reason why, if she had in fact recalled the meeting, she would have deliberately concealed it while disclosing all the conversations she had with Mr. Salmond. The First Minister will still face a vote of no confidence in Parliament tomorrow, pushed by the Scottish Conservatives.
Clearly, people can look at the scheme evidence and come to a different conclusion, and James Hamilton has done that. But I do believe there have been
one more to do.
Nicola Sturgeon has not been truthful, and she has misled the Scottish Parliament.
There is a second inquiry at Holyrood led by MSPs due to be published tomorrow. That will say Nicola Sturgeon did mislead Parliament, but will not judge if she broke ministerial code.
No one has yet taken responsibility for the fact that 2 women were failed. We don't yet know whether we have a robust harassment policy that gives confidence to women in the future. What's the role of the Lord Advocate in separating those roles? And what's the role in terms of accountability and transparency for our Parliament? These are major issues.
Nicola Sturgeon wakened this morning facing a triple threat from 2 inquiries and a vote of no confidence. This evening it looks like she will survive all 3. The vote of no confidence tomorrow will fail. ITV News understands it does not have enough support in the Scottish Parliament. And so Nicola Sturgeon, now vindicated, will almost certainly stay in post, preparing to lead the SNP into May's election, able to tell the people of Scotland that they can trust her.
This was earlier tonight. What does that mean then for Nicola Sturgeon? Her position is now entirely safe, yes?
Well, it's helpful officials to be near the Ides of March, in which that Nicola Sturgeon has survived the onslaught that she knew she was coming this month of March. Today was the biggest and most significant of this independent royal elected by Peter to County. He's come down on her side, and that's likely to give her enough credit to survive no matter what the parliamentary inquiry decides tomorrow, and again survive the vote of no confidence. And she needed that boost of confidence to take the SNP into the election in just 6 weeks' time, when she would be putting herself in front of the ultimate court of public opinion and seeking approval at the ballot box, not just to be Remain as First Minister, but to get a mandate, a majority here to get a mandate for a second independence referendum. She needed to be able to tell the people of Scotland that they could trust her to do that. If she gets that majority now, then it could be a case of Alex Salmond who.
Just make another thank you. The news has uncovered what experts have described as the worst housing conditions they've ever seen. Residents of one council owned tower block are living in danger of electrocution, with leaks in their ceilings causing floods and widespread night. It's been going on for months, and the tenants say nobody has helped them, despite continued complaints. That shocked the author of the report into the Grenfell Tower disaster, who told us it shows that social housing tenants still are not being listened to. Correspondent Daniel Schwartz has a special report.
No one should have to live in conditions like this. But it is wet, cold, mold-infested flat, with Franzoy and her 2 young sons. The bath she once used to bathe her children catches dirty water from the ceiling above. The leaks began 4 months ago.
There we are. Sorted. Ah, that's that done. Oh, God. Yeah, so hopefully everyone's all right. Yeah, I've got done all my testing now. Obviously, I've got proper testing to do as well, which I need to do as well. Yeah, so from next week I'll be doing some home testing.
On the next floor up, we find the same properties in a different flat where new lights.
to move the furniture around so that the water line around on the thing. This is all mold. This is all mold. It looks like it's a fire. Leroy has had damp problems here for many years. In November, the leak began all over his flat, staring at a single room. How many others fall the victim for? Think about Christmas. Every 6 hours on it to them and put them back out.
Like the fanzoid downstairs, Leroy feels ignored by Croydon Council.
I had to keep on ringing the council over and over again to say, what are you doing about this leak in my flat? Eventually they said to me, there's no leak in your flat.
They said there's no leak in this flat.
They said there's no leak in this flat.
It's not just Leroy's flats or flats on the flat. Over 70 residents in the flat who say they've experienced damp, mold, leaks and flooding in the time that they've lived there. To assess the potential danger of living in this flat, we invited an independent environmental hygienist to carry out an inspection.
Really high risk of electrocution. This is the sort of flat that we were expecting to see in a rundown area in the 1970s.
We showed what we found in the South London tower block to the experts who led the review into building safety after the Grenfell fire.
I don't think I've ever seen anything that bad.
He told us that the culture of how people in tower blocks in Britain are treated is changing fast enough.
I've heard lots of times when I talk to residents who are aware of Grenfell, when I talk to residents in other tower blocks, it's my one of the common complaints from residents was nobody listens to us. And that's, I'm afraid, is difficult. And that's one of the kind of fundamental cultural issues we've got to get over.
But here, that feels like a losing battle.
I feel just neglected. I just don't even feel like I'm human.
And just how many others across Britain are tonight still being ignored.
Wow. Jewels hitting the floor all over Britain. Astonishing. Shocking pictures. What have Croydon Council said about it?
Well, for 5 months, residents have been telling them desperately what's been happening in these flats. Nothing changed. Within 24 hours of ITV contacting them, they sent inspectors around. They moved Franzo and the 2 boys and Leroy out of their flats. They are now in temporary accommodation. They have apologised sincerely to both of them. They say these conditions are unacceptable. They're going to fix them immediately, they say, and the investigation into the way to how this was allowed to happen. Now, Croydon Council declared self-bankruptcy in November. They say that the district squad of residents have been living in nothing to do with their financial situation. We know, though, that the residents are alone.
Right, I'm just going to run out a drink. Be right back.
200,000 of them in places with damp, poor electrics and fire hazards. The wider theory there is that the council will
Prime Minister warned today that the third wave of coronavirus is remaining extremely social. Secretary Boris Johnson told the news that the national cooperation of the vaccine supply is vital to stop the virus killing more people. The EU is meeting us on Thursday to discuss whether to ban exports. That latest figure shows that in the UK almost 30 million people now have their first dose of vaccine, 5,350 new infections were reported, and 17 further deaths. That's a good figure. Vaccine program, which delivered a record 27 jabs a second yesterday, is providing a much needed dose of optimism to the UK. But supply issues are already having an impact on the ground, even before the threat of a vaccine blockade by the EU.
We're actually going to have to shut down for a week or two. We don't have enough supplies.
The speed of the rollout here so far has not been matched in the EU. And the Prime Minister warned today that with cases rising across the continent, that poses a real threat to Britain.
On the continent right now, you can see sadly there is a third wave underway. And people in this country can be under the illusion that previous experience was proof that the waves are changing. I'm afraid watching that on our as well.
In France, lockdown restrictions have been tightened already. Germany and Belgium
Might be it tomorrow.
They should back up with Andrew about the slow progress of the vaccine program. And new leaders will discuss on Thursday whether to block some vaccine exports to the
Contacts are ongoing with the company.
The row centres on AstraZeneca, which have manufacturing sites in 6 European countries. The EU say they've been expecting 90 million doses from the company by the end of March, but will now only receive 30 million. The EU has also pointed out it sent 10 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine to the UK without receiving any AstraZeneca doses in return.
The pharma industry is truly global one. We have a lot of
I love that ending.
companies spread out across the world and making one small component, one small input. So blocking exports and this sort of tit for tat retaliation then is really just going to hurt absolutely everybody.
The Prime Minister said he's reassured today by conversations he's had with other European leaders that they don't want to see blockades. The UK's vaccination programme is still currently on track to meet its targets. But as the Prime Minister suggested today, that doesn't mean that Europe's problems can't become our own. Romilly Weeks, ITV News.
Well, there was more positive news for the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine today. A study in the United States showed that it is very effective and does not cause blood clots. And our health editor, Emily Morgan, is here. Now, this is very encouraging, isn't it?
It is very encouraging news. I think in many ways it confirms what we already knew, but I think it will be a huge relief to AstraZeneca and to Oxford University. This was a US trial involving 32,000 people, and the results are stunning. The vaccine was shown to be 79% effective at stopping disease and 100% effective at preventing people from getting seriously ill. 100%. Around 20% of the volunteers were over 65, and the vaccine provided even more protection for them. Now, this is significant because the US authorities were really waiting for this data because they wanted to ensure its effectiveness in the over 65s. There was also a very specific review into the safety of this vaccine, looking at whether it's linked to blood clots, and they found that there was no increased risk of that either. So I think given the hesitancy around this vaccine, the pause in Europe, the questions about whether it's effective in the over 65s, this will be hugely significant, and it also paves the way, I think, for approval in America.
Okay, great, Emily, thank you very much. Let's go to Wales now. The ban on supermarkets selling non-essential items is being lifted from today as the country slowly moves out of lockdown. Now, aisles had been blocked off since Christmas to stop customers buying goods like clothes, toys and books. And garden centres are also now allowed to open for the first time this year. For people on the island of Guernsey, nearly all restrictions have been lifted. Islanders will no longer have to socially distance or have household bubbles. Pubs and clubs are reopening and all sports can restart. And in other news, the size of the British Army is to be reduced by 10,000 soldiers. The Defence Secretary, Ben Wallace, said the move would not involve redundancies, but aim to make the whole force more productive. It's part of the Defence Review by the government, which also includes a reduction in the use of tanks and aircraft. And the Home Secretary today condemned what she called the utterly shameful criminal thuggery in Bristol last night. Priti Patel praised the bravery of police officers. 20 were left with injuries, including a punctured lung and a broken arm. Police have vowed to hunt down those involved in the violence and rioting in the city centre last night. From there, our correspondent Ruben Evelyn reports.
Disorder and destruction on the streets of Bristol. Police targeted with missiles ranging from bottles to fireworks. Damage to property and people as 21 police officers are assaulted or injured in a sustained and violent protest. From Westminster to here in the west of England, the riot has been widely condemned.
Utterly shameful. We saw criminal thuggery and disorder caused by a minority who put lives at risk. And our exceptional and brave police officers put themselves in harm's way to protect the public.
This is about selfish, self-centered, self-indulgent individuals engaging in their fantasy of being revolutionaries.
Yesterday's protest began peacefully. Thousands concerned by planned increases to police powers and the impact it will have on the right to protest. While these images may have helped their cause, few believe that what followed will have any benefit. Natalie took part in the peaceful protest. She condemns violence, but can see how things got out of control.
If their right to peaceful protest is being threatened, and then they are faced with riot police with shields and batons, that is going to stir people up quite a lot, and it's easy to see how things escalated. I'm not blaming either side.
8 people are currently in custody, but scores of arrests are expected.
After many hours of violent protest, the police and the protesters are in for the long haul.
It may take days or weeks, but police will be patient as they hunt down the wanted. One of their largest investigations ever.
People who caused a sleepless night for many last night, with their violence and their damage and their firework throwing and their stone throwing, they should not sleep soundly. We will be circulating their pictures and we will be knocking on their doors, giving them sleepless nights, and they will be brought to justice.
The scars of violent demonstration have been cleaned up, but the damage runs deep. It will take time for the issues raised to be resolved. Rupert Evelyn, ITV News, Bristol.
Still to come, the ITV Evening News, a dramatic drone's eye view of Iceland's erupting volcano. And the community stepped up to help a veteran and his family after their home was left gutted by fire. That's why the end of March will mark the end of a dream for many Brits living in the EU. Under the Brexit deal, they can only stay for up to 90 days unless they have registered as residents. And many miss the January the 1st deadline, and soon they will have to return home. Our Europe editor James Mates spoke to some of those affected expats in southern Spain.
There's a reckoning coming for some Brits in southern Spain, and Abby Warwick is right now having to face it. She's been here volunteering at the Donkey Dreamland Sanctuary in Mijas since the beginning of the year, and like any UK citizen, is allowed to stay just 90 days in any 180 without a visa. Her 90 days are almost up.
The clock started ticking on the 1st of January, and there isn't really an easy way around it, unfortunately.
The consequences of overstaying that 90 days or what?
Well, yeah, either a fine, could be a ban from the Schengen area, or if not, then there'll always be a mark against my passport.
Abby didn't have a home here, but many hundreds of thousands do. They had a right to apply for residency in Spain before the 1st of January. But those advising them say many didn't.
If you have been here before the 1st of January, then you can tick all of the boxes, dot all the I's, cross all of the T's with immigration. If you came after that time, or you didn't apply in time, that's when the problems start.
Did many Brits not apply in time?
Quite a few didn't apply in time, yes.
John Shears was one of them. And 2.5 years after moving to Spain, he may be going home.
Naivety on my behalf. I didn't put mine in until just after that, and then it's been knocked back, shall we say.
You're currently appealing against it.
Yes.
So for the time being, you're okay, but if that gets knocked back again, you're just going to have to leave the country.
Yes. With hundreds and thousands of others.
Because there are a lot of you missed this deadline.
A lot of it.
Whether you have sympathy with that or not, it's not just a problem for those living here now. Anyone who dreams of buying here, maybe of retiring to the sun, is going to struggle. Though there is one thing that can really help. The dream that many Britons have, that's gone.
Well, if you're a rich person, then it's not gone at all. No problem. But you
ordinary
have to have good financial means, and then it is possible.
So for ordinary working people, forget it.
It will be difficult.
Abby Warwick has packed her van and is driving home to beat the end of March deadline. Brexit is becoming very real for Britons living anywhere in the EU. Citizens of Britain now have no more rights than those of Brazil or Botswana to move to Europe. And that can become much more complicated when millions already live here. James Mates, ITV News, southern Spain.
Look at this. Dramatic drone pictures have been released of the volcano in Iceland, which is erupting right now. Now, the video gives the perfect view of the lava flow, which is still very active. The power of the eruption varies, and it could last for a number of weeks. The area around the volcano has now become a tourist attraction.
visitors there, and a UK-led test mission to clean up space debris with a magnet has blasted off. It's estimated there are around 9,000 tons of space junk in the Earth's orbit. Collisions with the junk could impact services such as phone services and online banking. And finally, a former Royal Marine says he is a little bit embarrassed and completely overwhelmed after well-wishers donated £250,000 to repair his house. Sean Ivey was forced to flee his home in County Durham with his wife and 2 young children after an arson attack there. Their insurance policy had lapsed, making the situation even worse. But as Lucy Watson reports, the kindness of strangers has got them smiling again. This was everything Sean Ivey and his wife had worked for. Their home, their car, their caravan, set alight in the middle of the night while their children slept in their beds.
The caravan was on fire in the front end of that, and as much as I was trying to put it out, the flames were just getting bigger and bigger.
Sean believes he was deliberately targeted because he spoke out against antisocial behaviour in his area, but the former Marine is unafraid.
Made us more determined to speak out. What more can you do to me? He took everything away that I own. And look at the beam at the top, and that's where my Royal Marines uniform hung, my medals, and it's just gone.
The bungalow was uninsured, but the bravery of this veteran hasn't gone unnoticed. A crowdfunding page has been set up to raise money for Sean. This kind of attack can have a profound effect on a community, of course, making them more fearful. But compassion here has spurred them on to raise more than £250,000 for Sean and his family in less than a week.
Absolutely fantastic, the amount of money that's being raised. We're in a pandemic and people are still rallying around to people that have been furloughed, that have no money, but they've still offered to give them them few pounds.
It just shows there's some good in the world, doesn't it? There's some from all over the world, you know, Canada, everywhere. Just unbelievable. He is lovely though, he's a lovely lad, you know.
We'll get back to that.
And he is so very grateful for such generosity.
Speechless. Unbelievable. There's a lot more good in this country, in this world, than what there is bad, that's for sure.
This young family plans to rebuild their life exactly as it was. Their hope coming from the kindness of others. Lucy Watson, ITV News, County Durham. Good news for you there. And that's it. Tom's here at 10 from me and all the team. Stay safe and well. Bye-bye. Today, it could be pouring in many places, but not for a little while. Heinz Tomato Ketchup sponsors ITV National Weather.
Hello, a very good evening to you. Weather-wise, it's been a pretty fine start to the week, but it is going to turn more changeable as we head through the next few days. Certainly some rain at times and a noticeable drop in temperature by the time we get to Friday this week. As for things here and now, well, the high pressure, which gave us those fairly fine conditions throughout today, is going to slip away south. We see low pressure moving. You can see a number of weather fronts heading our way, but in between those weather fronts, there will be some drier and more periods of weather.
Just realised some bloody public.
Towards the northwest as we head through this evening and
sorry, I'm just talking to myself.
Tomorrow. Here's we'll hold on to the cloudier skies as well, but further south, it's going to be pretty clear, and that will allow our nighttime temperatures to drop down to say 1 or 2 degrees in some towns and cities, even colder than that out in the countryside. So a bit of frost here and there, but certainly no frosty problems the further north you go, with lows of say 7 or 8 degrees Celsius. Now, as we start tomorrow, a pretty fine start again across the south, but you'll notice the cloud cover spilling in from the west as we head through the course of the day. Out towards East Anglia and the southeast, well, that's where we'll have the finest of the weather for that bit longer, but you can see quite overcast coming end of the afternoon, and also outbreaks of rain affecting western parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland, not to mention those winds picking up out towards many western fringes of the UK. Looking further ahead, well, as you can see on Wednesday, we'll kind of be in between systems. That's why I say, actually, there will be some drier and brighter periods of weather, but certainly expect some rainy times as we head through the course of this week, and those temperatures are expected to drop off by the time we get to Friday. That's your forecast. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Heinz Tomato Ketchup sponsors ITV National Weather.
I really miss playing football with friends. I'm saving up at the minute so I can book a football pitch week after week after week. But I'm going to do my favourite thing. Play a game of football and then immediately go to the vending machine, get a fizzy drink and a chocolate bar and completely offset the exercise I've done. That is the perfect.
There we are. Sorted. Well, Nathan's not been in, has he today? He's probably busy. Is he doing his own thing? I'll be seeing him on Wednesday anyway. So yeah. Yeah, I had my second COVID test today, guys, and I got negative again. So I'm happy about that. So yeah, from next week I'm going to be doing some home testing. So hopefully that'll go alright. I'll be starting from next Monday. So we'll see where we go with that. And it's going to be Monday and I think it's going to be Monday and Thursdays. I'm going to be doing my tests. So obviously I can't do on Tuesday and Wednesday because I'm at college. So it'll be Monday and Thursday, I think. I think that's the days I'll be doing them. Probably might be Friday as well. I don't know yet. Up to now I've just got Monday and Thursday. Takes a while to load. Excuse me. Come on, load already. Not here all day. Come on. Come on, load already. Well. In less than a few minutes. Yeah, the live streams are probably going to be quiet today, which I don't mind, because half of them are normally me quiet anyway, so yeah, got a busy day tomorrow anyway, so yeah. So yeah, probably gonna be quiet streams. One minute, guys, and then I'll be ending up.